There are a lot of dogmatic views and ego in golf where everybody seems to be right all the time. These are my 18 most controversial takes that are actually going to help your game because they're contrary to what everybody's telling you, which most of the time is nonsense. The first take is that 3-woods are obsolete. Get rid of the 3-wood. You don't have the swing speed to hit a 15-degree 3-wood reliably with a good dispersion at decent distance. Start with a 5 or 7-wood. 5-wood, 18 degrees, more than likely with a slower swing speed will travel higher and go further with more control. 7-wood is just a cheat code in golf. If you don't have a 7-wood, are you even golfing? Throw away the 3-wood, get a 7-wood. One of my most controversial takes is that strokes gained is absolutely nonsense for amateur handicap golfers. It's great for the pros and it's great for betting on the pros. The main thing you're going to find with these data tracking gadgets is that every path leads you to understand what you're weak in, but then you have to go for a lesson. So every path leads to a lesson. So you may as well just go get the lessons in the first place on short game, putting, approach shots and driver and ball striking, and just avoid all that other stuff. When you get good enough to scratch level or below, then you can start looking at strokes gained, because strokes gained is not actually a course management system. It's just numbers. It doesn't mean anything. Strokes gained, it's not a system. Stroke gain hasn't proven anything. Strokes gained is merely just data collected on pros. So this shot from 96 yards, we have to look up the information. There's very little information that really helps us as amateur golfers to understand what to do here. The intangibles is really what's going to help you. You've got a bunker in the front, the 95 yards to the pin. You can see the green on the right. You want to take the big danger out of play. You want to go and land this ball 95 to 100 yards to make sure you have a putt left. So you take your 95 to 100 yard club. What the hell difference does it make what the statistics say on how many shots you should be taking to get up and down from here? I want to get up and down in 3 shots. If I get up and down in 4 shots, I feel like that's not good enough. I'm not going to gain 0.1 of a shot, 0.25 of a shot against a field unless they're playing the same course as me over 4 days in a row. If I'm comparing to people in a links golf course in the UK and a tight golf course in the northeast of the USA, what am I doing? So understand that this stuff is all irrelevant to you, except if you have a system. And whatever happens from there, I need 2 putts from there and I'm done. Very few scratch golfers or low handicap golfers use the strokes gained information. They may care about greens in regulation, but we don't really, because look, over here, I'm like 8 inches off the green, but basically my proximity is pretty acceptable from 100. If I'm further from the hole on the green there, now I've got longer distance to putt over, I'd rather have this one. I've missed the green, but I got a putt for birdie. Easy game. And from this place, one of the most valuable things I can know is the 2 putts always going to be very good. Distance is not king. Everybody's chasing distance because people are telling you got to hit it further to play better, because distance correlates to lower scores, but so do green and regulation. So do the number of white belts matching the white shoes, and pink polos also match lower scores. Everything is correlated in golf. You have to be better at every single aspect, but the way you get distance is not what people are telling you by chasing, hitting it harder, doing speed training. No, you get it by hitting the place on the face that the manufacturer has designed for the ball to go further more often. When you hit it there, the ball goes further with the same swing speed. The distance is a byproduct of the better strike and better technique, and the actual score reduction comes from the lower dispersion, knowing more where your ball is going to go. So don't chase distance, chase strike, chase technique. The distance comes. Generic YouTube swing mechanic advice is completely and utterly a waste of your time. You should be watching exactly 0 videos on how to fix your slice, how to swing the golf club on YouTube. You shouldn't read about it. You should get to a professional or coach who communicates well with you and learn the basics from them. The longer you go ingraining the wrong things, the harder it is for your future coach to get it out of you. YouTube swing mechanic advice is all nonsense. It doesn't apply to you. It's completely generic. Some of the short game stuff may apply in terms of aiming, instead of grip for your putter, some chipping techniques, but the long game, you really want to get your grip, stance, posture, everything sorted by a professional in person. Course management you can learn on YouTube, but swing mechanic advice puts you further back than if you go to a pro who can leapfrog your progress by 3 or 4 years. Wow, that's long. That's a big boy. Players, I've just created the classic confidential putter. Just a very classic looking putter, blade style. What a play on the back in green, little green dot. milled face, absolutely stunning. Just a feather on the bottom, quite a toe hang on that, a beautiful cock and balls grip with a crisscross texture pattern, matching head cover with a beautiful fleece. Look at that. But the best part is it's magnetic closure, not Velcro. Absolutely money. Get this at waterplayergolf.com, $249.99 including shipping to your door. Absolutely money-ski. Controversial take is everything stems from the hole backwards. 1 foot putt, back to lag putting, back to chipping, back to pitching, back to wedge shots, back to approach shots. If you start in that direction in your practice and your play, you will get very good at golf very quickly. The confidentiality you build close to the hole breeds confidentiality away from the hole. That is how you do it, not the other way around. Turn in there, bad boy. Oh, not too bad. Beautiful little sweet spot right over there. Beautiful little sweet spot. Oh, absolutely money. Beautiful. Let's go. Big controversial take I have is to remove the driver from your bag and the 60 degree, the top and bottom of the bag, because it's probably where you're losing the most shots. Duffing your 60, blading it across the green. It's a technical club made for professionals who play places like Augusta or tight greens and tight fairways. The driver is the lowest lofted club in the bag. While it can be the most forgiving if you hit it well, it can be the least forgiving because the lower the loft, the more propensity to go left and right off the tee and lose golf balls. So sometimes it's best to remove those two clubs and just see how you play. I bet you shoot lower scores. Okay, 150 yards, we're going pitching wedge, money. Oh, sun. Any putting data you see from Arcos or ShotScope is completely wrong. GPS does not have the ability to track that level of precision. It requires everybody using those systems to go in and edit their scores and edit their shots to reveal exactly which ones they missed, which ones they hold. It's impossible to remember all 18 of them and get the position correct, so please take all those data points in putting of amateurs with a grain of salt. We just use the professional ones, and we know that from this distance, which is probably about 100 feet, we have a very good likelihood of a 3-putt, and a 2-putt here is going to be absolutely money. Well, we've hit that very far past the hole, but it's uphill, long putt. My other controversial take is that every single thing in this game is both in your mind and physical at any one time. If you don't believe something, you're not going to do it. If you believe something or you're scared of something, you're going to do it. Can you become a better putter using just your mind? Yes, you can. You have to free yourself. Can you hit better shots with just your mind? Yes. You have to free yourself of the outcome. When you focus on the outcome, it makes you go on an emotional roller coaster. When you're playing well, oh, I better keep this together. Oh, and then you get stressed. That pulls you back towards your level of training because your self-image is telling you that you're a loser. On this putt, I'm going to try and make it. I've reset. I've hit a bad first putt, but it doesn't determine the outcome of this putt. This is a brand new putt, equal importance. And I make it because I want to make it. I don't want to miss it and prove to myself I'm bad. My hot take that distance is not king makes people wonder, okay, well, what do I hit then? Well, you've got to hit something off the tee that's going to avoid the shizer left and in front of you on this hole and going to get the ball into play. Number one, you want to try hit the ball to a place you like the approach shot, if you can. Next skill level down, you want to hit the ball as long as possible without the chance of losing the ball OB or in the water, no penalties, whatever club that's going to be. On this hole, it could be a freaking 4 hybrid for you, whatever's going to keep you in play. The final step, if you can't do either of those things, hit anything that's just going to keep the ball dry and inbounds. That's my controversial take. On approach, you'll find my other hot take, the free throw distance, hitting shots you prefer and like into the green rather than being as far or as close to the hole as possible, which I think is a misnomer, non sequitur. I'm a cunning linguist. We're going to miss most of the green, so we have to have a strong short game. My hot take is that you are wasting your time at the driving range hitting driver and irons all the time. You're hitting off a flat surface all the time. You want to get to a grass range and you want to practice shots on the golf course during practice rounds. That's going to be your best bet at scoring better or variable lies. But then the short game is going to come in the most. That's where you should spend 3 times as much time as you do on the driving range around the short game area. If you really want to improve your ball striking, you should go hit out of fairway bunkers or the beach and you'll start to hit your irons much nicer and cleaner. But driving range for me, waste of time. go to the short game area, work on chipping, pitching and putting. That's my hot take. Short game, short game, short game. Little teethy, a little teethy, oh, on the green. Remember, it's short game, short game, short game. We've got around the green, and most of the time we're going to miss the greens. The way we keep our score down is by having a great short game that gets the ball into the hole in 2 shots, hopefully, and no more than 3. Well, that was absolutely horrific. Like you can see, I was hitting into this cow grass, one of the most unpredictable grasses, into the grain. So a little bit tough, but we're on the green, we got the putt. A major controversial take I take flack for all the time is encouraging shorter shots. Being a short king, you don't have to smash the ball that long to break those scoring barriers you are trying to break. If you're trying to go after 100 or go after 90, it's very, very simple. I have many videos showing this, that all you need is a ball in play, guaranteed, and from there we plot our way by increasing the par of every hole. People get triggered by this because they think that you're going to get stuck at that level by doing that. No. As you continue playing and improving and you start to see how managing a golf course works, you start to develop your own strategy. You start to watch the break 80 videos, the break 90 videos, and you see some new things about yourself that you can implement on the golf course. It's not about what I show you, it's about what you find out about yourself that's going to bring your score down by increasing your arsenal of shots, implementing a different thing here, attacking there, defending there. It's all nuanced, and if you can't see nuance in golf, that's my hot take, you're not a golfer. You should take up cycling. If everything is compartmentalized, black and white, unfortunately you'll be stuck for a very long time. So I'm going to play this one. I'm going to play this par 5 with very short shots. It's 530 yards. I'm going to aim to hit this in 4 shots. Hopefully it's a pitch shot for my 4th. If it's not, hopefully it's a wedge. So that's going to be a terrible tee shot, which is what happens to a lot of people. I'm going to show you it doesn't matter. It's in play. From there we can still make bogey or par. And for 9 times out of 10 golfers, a bogey here is absolutely perfect. It's handicap 6. A 6 handicap or above gets a bogey here, and it's a great score. Now we've got 335 yards, and this is where I start to deviate from a lot of people. Depending on your lie, you have to pick the shot that's going to work out the best for you, taking into account what's in front of you. I can very easily stand here with a 7 wood and try pump one 225 to leave me 100 yards to the hole. But what about the lie? So the ball's below my feet, sitting down a little bit. I might not hit that 7 wood well and then have no control because of the lie of the ball. So from this lie, I'd prefer to take higher loft to make sure I get it back in play. The distance be damned. The shot you can hit 9 times out of 10, regardless of whatever the distance is that you hit it. You don't have to smash it far. In this very instance, I don't want to hit anything lower loft than an 8 iron. That's what I can do 9 times out of 10. And then we adjust our expectations. This is a par 6, so we have to hit it in 4 shots. How far will this 8 iron go? Maybe 150, 140 yards. From there, we will reassess from 190 what to do. Now we have a shorter shot in that we're going to now figure out how to get it on the green the most efficient way. See, you can play this game in the rough, which I don't really advise. I don't like it. I prefer if you're in the fairway. But once you're in a difficult spot, I always like to think, how can I get out of this difficult spot to a spot I can still have a shot? I don't want to hit a stupid shot after a bad shot. And this kind of thing now, where I leave myself in the rough from 160 to the hole, we have to assess our ability, and this is where I start to deviate. 160 is nobody's free throw distance. I mean, sometimes I'll hit a 9 iron from there on a par 3 and I'll feel, wow, free throw distance. I'm automatic from there. From here in this lie, I'm not. So I need to think, what can I get somewhere near the green or my favorite distance to have a good shot at this hole? Because I want my 4th shot to be something nice, so I hit the green. Now, that can either be chipping out to 100 yards, 90 yards, 50 yards, 60 yards, 40 yards, or it can be get as close to the green as I can with my 160 club and hopefully have an easy chip. All I want to do is not be on the shorts. What the hell is this guy doing? I don't want to do what that guy's done. He went over the green and teethed it out of the bunker down to below the hole. So I want to avoid all that puffies by putting the ball in a place that I am going to be comfortable from. Do you like 30 yards, 50 yards, 60 yard shots onto a raised green? I certainly don't. So you either have to go a full 160 and get it up there and take the risk of whatever chip comes, or pitch it out to your favorite distance. Let's say I like to hit a 100 yard shot with a 52 degree. I'm going to pitch this out 80 yards. Caddy, our Hasip song. I'm going to take my 52 degree and hit this shot to 100 yards from the hole. It sounds silly, but think further back from the hole, not only from this distance. If you have a 160 yard shot, as I do, I would just pump it right on the green and take the chip. But we've got a lot of danger there. There's a big bunker. You can leave yourself short. You can go over and have a tough chip. It's a small green. Let's give ourselves the best chance of getting up and down from a free throw distance. And now I have a 52 degree into the hole. The most difficult part to accept about this way of playing is you have to think like an onion, multiple layers in golf. Do you like this 100-yard shot? Well, if you don't like it, if you're better from 60, 70 or 40 yards, of course you've got to get it there. Onto a raised green, I just do not hit nice pitch shots from between 40 and 75, 80 yards. I just don't. So I'm going to hit this same 52 degree again from the 52 degree distance, because this is a free throw distance. I'm kind of automatic from this distance. You have to figure out your free throw distances and try get the ball there. If you just willy-nilly hit it as far as you can, leaving yourself a 60, 70 yard bunker shot, 45 yard bunker shot, pitches up slopes that you don't like and you hate partial shots, you can stop doing that, and then you can actually start to see an improvement in score because you're playing trustworthy confidential clubs. So this is a trustworthy confidential shot for me. I mean, super simple. I'm generally automatic from here. That's just money. I mean, I don't know, I can't do much better than that. And that's because I know my distance with my clubs, my free throw distances, playing to those as often as I can. And because of the free throw distance, we give ourselves a lot of confidentiality. I'm not reading putts, I'm just going very quickly because that's beyond the point of the video. But I do love this new putt I've created. Oh, I'm just hitting it a little bit too firm, because the greens changed again. This is now Paspalum and not Bermuda. Absolutely money. Okay, my final hot take is to stop tracking your statistics. Your stats don't mean anything. Fairways, greens, up and downs, they don't mean much because everything is interrelated. If you do track them, that's fine, but we want to ask questions about where we lost shots. We don't care about anything else. We can say, great, our putting is fantastic today, whatever. That will come and go, it's going to average out. But what really counts is understanding your thought process, your commitment levels, your confidentiality, your targets. What were you doing on that shot that made you lose strokes? Let's say you put it in a bunker, let's say you didn't get up and down, let's say you took a triple bogey there. Find out the reason why. Don't say just because your chipping is bad and you need to work on your chipping. Think more along the lines of maybe I was aiming in the wrong place. For example, on that previous hole, my ball went left. Why? Because I didn't commit to the shot, I rushed it, I hit that iron and it pulled to the left. Because I didn't even find a target. I just went willy-nilly hitting the golf ball. Then on the next shot, I pulled it left. Why? Because I wasn't actually thinking about the target again, where the best place to aim would be to get the ball where I want it. That put me 160 yards away in the rough instead of in the fairway, where I can then go for the green with a more predictable lie. On the fourth shot, I had supreme confidentiality, so that's a great shot. And then I two-putted, no problem. And then I two-putted. So I took the 6. But the main problem was hit that tee shot I didn't commit to, and the second shot I didn't find a target and commit to that target. These are the things we're talking about. So when you go in a bunker, don't look at your greenside bunker play necessarily. Look at why you went in the bunker. Did you pick a good target? Were you committed to the shot? Did you have the wrong club in your hand? You knew it? Were you feeling uncomfortable? Did somebody distract you? Or have you not slept enough? These are all things that come into play and will help you improve. So you find your excuse for why you did something wrong. You find the reason why. Then how to fix it. Always ask why? Okay, how to fix it. Don't start at the onion layer 1, get down to the core of the onion by asking why, and why. Okay, that's the root cause. How do I fix it? And then go about fixing it. That's how you're going to get better at golf. That's what I did when I was 12 years old, when I was tracking fairways, greens, chipping up and down. And I thought, actually, let's think back to the rest of the round and figure out shot by shot where I was. And I always found it came down to commitment, confidentiality, targets, and understanding what I'm doing in the moment, being present, instead of thinking about other things that are not related to the shot causing bad shots.